Hello everyone, and welcome to another Mondays with Michele video. I'm introducing a new series called Let's Write, where I'll share hints and tips on creating large documents. This week's topic, paragraph styles, what they are and why you should use them. Let's get started. I'm going to be using Word, but the things I'll be showing you today, those same features are in most major word processing tools. So even if you are not using Word, you will still be able to get something from this hint and tip. So what most of us would do is you go to Word, you open up a blank document, and you're going to start typing. You're going to say, okay, maybe the title of my book will be My Family. And perhaps you decide you're going to start talking about your grandparents. And you're going to write some wonderful words about your grandparents. And then you might want to talk about your grandmother, and you do some more wonderful words about grandma, and then about your grandfather. And then you go along and you say, well, this is going to be my main heading. So I'm going to make it nice and big and bold. And then my grandparents, well, I'll make it not quite as big, but bold, so it stands out. And grandmother, that'll be another topic. And you get something that looks like this. That is not the way to format your document. I'm going to show you what you should be doing. So here is the same kind of structure that I just showed you, but instead of going and changing the font and the bolding and the color, I'm going to use paragraph styles, which are up at the top of the screen here. Let me just move this out of the way. And they represent structural elements of your document as well as default formatting. So what you want to do when you are designing a document, you use these styles to identify the structure. So for example, my grandparents, that would be like the chapter heading. So I'm going to call that a heading 1. And you notice it's automatically assigned formatting. My grandmother, that's like one topic within that chapter called My Grandparents. It's a heading 2. My grandfather is another subtopic, a heading 2. And now I'm going to talk about some other topics about my grandfather. So if my grandfather was assigned a heading 2, his childhood will be heading 3. And you notice for each level of heading, there are slight differences in the formatting so that I can see at a glance when I'm looking at the page. This is a topic. These are subtopics underneath it. So instead of just changing the font, I'm actually identifying the structure of the document. And as I click on each of these headings, if you notice at the top here, it shows which structural element I've identified. So watch what happens up top here when I click on his childhood. That shows heading 3. His military service, also heading 3. My grandmother is showing heading 2. My grandparents, heading 1. So what I have done now, and I'll just finish going through. Okay. Family life in Vancouver. This is another heading 2. Okay. And you might be asking, why should I bother doing this instead of just manually assigning the formatting? And the answer is there's 2 reasons. One reason is you will always find at some point that you change your mind about how you want those headings to be formatted. So for example, if I decide I don't want heading 2 to be a 20-point Calibri light, I want heading 2, instead of blue, I want it to be red. And I want it to be 18-point font. So what I can do is I can actually change the style. If I want to update this to red and 18, I've just updated that one item. But if I want to update all of the headings, I'm going to go in and actually change the definition of that style. And look what it's done. It has automatically updated every single heading. So if you think about the fact that when you're writing up your family history, you will easily have hundreds of pages if you are trying to document everything. Being able to update things like your headings in a consistent way becomes very important. The other reason for using paragraph styles is Word has built-in features to automatically create a table of contents. So if I decide I'm going to insert a table of contents, and I click on References, I go to Table of Contents at the top left, and it shows me different styles of a table of contents. So if I say, this one looks good, look at what it did. It automatically created a lovely table of contents without me having to do anything, because what it's done is it has searched through the document looking for those structural paragraph style names that I assign to all the headings. And it says, here's a heading 1, my grandparents. Oh, here are the heading 2, my grandmother, my grandfather, family life in Vancouver. Here's heading 3's, his childhood, his military service. What's even better is it's automatically putting the page numbers in. I don't have to manually type in the headings and type in the page numbers. And the power of this is, let's say I decide to add another subtopic. Let's say I want to talk about his siblings. So this is going to be another subtopic. We'll make it a heading 3. And I will add some more text. And this is typically what we do as we're working on a document. And you're probably thinking, well, that's fine, but my table of contents doesn't have that new heading. But if I update this table of contents, look at that. It's picked up that new heading. The other thing you can do with Word, you notice it's not just text. We want to insert pictures. We want to insert documents that we've found to help tell our ancestors' stories. So here's my grandmother's baptism record, because she was born in Constantinople, Turkey. Now, I want to put a little caption underneath the pictures to remind me, as well as the readers, what this picture is about. I could just type in a caption, but what would be better is to identify this structurally as a caption. And to do that, again, I go to References. I use Insert Caption. And I can control what kind of caption it is. So I type in the caption. I can decide whether I want that caption above or below. I'm going to leave it below. I can do different settings to see, do I want that label photo 1 to be part of the caption or not? I'm going to leave it in there. It's now put that caption directly under the picture with the formatting I've assigned based on a caption style. And here's the advantage of using this structural element. So you notice I've put captions on all of these photos. It's automatically numbering the photos. But what's really nice is maybe I would love to have a list of all of the photos or all of the documents that I've included in this book that I'm creating. So I can set up, I'm going to start a new page, and I'm going to create a list of photos. Look at that. And I can set the title. I can call it List of Photos And this is going to be a heading 2. So you notice it's formatted the same way as all the other heading 2s. The other thing that is really nice about these automatic lists and table of contents that Word creates, each entry is a clickable link. So for example, if I hover over photo to grandma's baptism, do you see there's a little message that comes up that says control click to follow the link. This is a clickable link. If I click, it takes me to the caption for her document. Similarly, in the table of contents, if I want to go right to family life in Vancouver, I click that link, there I am. So by using these built-in tools to set up your document, you can create not only a document that can be printed, but one that you can distribute or email to friends and family, and it has online clickable links. So I'm going to save this, but I'm also going to save it as a PDF file. Let me just move this out of the way. Because if you were distributing it to friends and family, that's what you would want to do. You would want to save it as a PDF file so that they can't go in and change accidentally all of the items that you had set up. So if I was distributing this, I created a lovely cover page, which is again something that Word has built in. You don't have to be a great artist. I just used their template and stuck my own picture of my grandmother and me. And here is the table of contents. I can click through and I can scroll through the document. I can go to that list of photos, click on Grandpa's War Diary, and it's bringing me to that place in the document. So what I want to encourage you to do when you are setting up your documents is use those paragraph styles to identify the structure of your document. I hope you enjoyed learning about paragraph styles. Don't forget to download the handout. You'll find the link in the video description at the bottom of your screen. I've given you a document called Family History Book. This is a Word document. You can use it as a starting point for your next large document project. Feel free to customize it to suit your needs. Thanks for watching.